Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Our show today is the United Kingdom News and Culture episode, drumroll, 120. Can you imagine? I'm just thrilled and so honored. We have evolved and we continue evolving. Thank you for all of your follows, your likes, and your subscribes. We are on platforms all over the world, and it's our true honor and privilege to be able to be live streaming with you today. Let's welcome the rest of the team who's stuck with me through 120 episodes. DIANN Floyd BOEHM, who has literally been traveling nonstop. I can't wait to hear what she's been up to. She's an international award-winning author, and she is literally a globetrotter. Welcome, DIANN.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Congratulations, 120. Amazing.
Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been here since the beginning, so I really appreciate and honor you. And thanks for making it back in time for this show. Tell us what you've been up to and where you've been.
It has been so exciting. My husband and I, we're celebrating a little early, our 45th wedding anniversary. Can you believe it?
Woo!
I know, amazing. And that he's stuck with me this long, right? And we did something that we'd always wanted to do, which was travel the trains in the Canadian Rockies. So we started in Vancouver and went all the way up to Jasper and Banff and all kinds of places. Saw live grizzly bears in their environment, as well as many other incredible things. What a trip. I recommend it to everyone to do the Rocky Mountain train trip.
Well, you look very happy, DIANN. I'm thrilled for you. 45
I'm sorry,
years.
I got up my computer at home so I could just be totally in the space.
Well, it worked. So congratulations again. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Let's welcome the rest of our team, the beautiful HELENA CHARD. She is going to present us with the Royal Roundup. She has been on all the major platforms around the world. And in addition, she also is very well versed in photography. She's an expert photographer, and she's also an expert when it comes to casting. Let's welcome HELENA CHARD.
Hey,
Hello.
oh my goodness, so lovely to see you guys, and lovely to see, oh my gosh, Diane, I really love the way you said to be in the sort of like the here and now and not be interrupted by, computers and people taking your time to actually see things as
Thanks.
you're seeing
Yes,
them is a very special thing, isn't it? So
it
thank you
is.
for sharing that with us.
It was great.
Yeah, it's
Thanks.
really a gift that you give yourself because most of us don't do that. We just think we just got to keep going and going till we drop over. So good for you. And Helena, I have to say, it looks like we're in the same place, but it looks like it's very muggy where you are. It's a little.
It's, it's certainly not that muggy, I have to say, but it's not as cold as it's a reasonably calm, semi-sunny day, I guess. How about with you?
It is so hot here. I know it's nothing like what it's like in Houston sometimes, but you get in the car and it's 103 degrees. I mean, literally my sunglasses are stuck to the case that they're in, and everything that you thought was leather or something is starting to come undone. I'm like, what's up with this Mercedes? It's falling apart. So anyway, it is a hot one. So but
Yeah.
it's hot here on the set too because we're going to bring our other panelists out, our expert correspondent, Mr. Simon MacDonald, who is no stranger to television. He's an international worldwide presenter as well. And he also is a legendary chef and someone who's an expert when it comes to fisheries. Welcome to the show.
It's lovely to be back. It's like coming home. I keep saying this each week, but it's just the group of us. It's just a lovely feeling. I absolutely enjoy every second of it. And the sun is shining here, right on cue for us today. It was a bit dull and misty this morning when we started. I've been up to the town of Oban. A little shower, that was it. But the sun has come out now, and there we are. It's just stunning day yet again.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. And Wave.video really likes you because they always put you in the top corner. Every time you come in, they zoom Simon right there, which is great.
You used to go there. I don't know if I've been promoted or something.
It's all automatic, so we love it. So I want to say hello. We have a lot of people watching across all the various platforms. Welcome. We're thrilled to have you here today. Feel free to put comments onto any of the platforms where you're watching and listening. We're going to start off with Helena and the Royal Roundup, but I do want to announce that we have a very special guest who will be joining us before the end of the show. Mum's the word as to who it is, so do stay tuned. Helena, over to you.
Thank you so much. So, gosh, guys, so it's been a very political time here in the UK, I have to say, and it's been quite fraught with, people feeling stressed about various things, but I'm sure you know what it's like also over there with the political arena, and people are throwing accusations and trying to sort of make themselves really important, but we're waiting for manifestos to come through so that people can actually decide, who to vote for politically. And that's coming up sort of 4th and 5th of July. So it's all very presidential. I don't know quite how that happened, but there you go. But I'm going to start with, and I know it sounds very bizarre, but yay, it's National Paperclip Day. Now, obviously, paperclips come in various forms and sizes, but apparently the paperclip has been going for like almost 2 centuries. And there is a reason for me talking about it because it is a symbol of unity. And I also think, isn't it amazing that a paperclip has its own special day of honour? And it obviously goes to show that we can all have our special day of honour. And it's something we should all work towards. But the reason I'm bringing that up is that's obviously today, but also I did some journalistic reviews for various platforms, mainly GB News actually, who are wanting to know about the Duchess of York. Now that's Sarah Ferguson, who is obviously the ex-wife of Prince Andrew. She appeared in great spirits in Cannes, and it was the Cannes Film Festival 2024. There she is. Can you believe? Look at that beautiful outfit. I think she's lost so much weight as well. But anyway, the thing about it, she was there for the AMFAR Gala. It's the 77th Cannes Film Festival. She certainly can hold an audience, but people were saying that she was absolutely furious because she couldn't actually get her voice heard, and she started being quite rude. And there she was. There were lots of people, obviously, at the film festival, all having a drink, and they're, wanting to move on to the next party. And she felt a bit silenced, and she made this sort of declaration over the mic telling everyone to stop what they were doing. What were they doing? They had to stop and listen to her. And then it became this huge fiasco here that she'd been rude to people and everything. But actually, you know what? She was there. She'd been booked to actually travel to this, audience, basically, at the Cannes Film Festival. So it was like a gala auction that was taking place. And I was thinking to myself, what do you do in a situation where no one's listening? You have to do something. And actually, I don't think she was absolutely furious. I think she just wanted people to listen, and she did the best she could. And the thing about Fergie is she's so gung-ho and so high-spirited, and you certainly don't miss her, put it that way. But she was there at the Simon de Fury auctioning of the portrait of the late Queen Elizabeth, a beautiful, beautiful photograph taken by Chris Levine, and that's for charity. The actual foundation she was there and booked for was for AIDS research, and it was to improve the treatment of AIDS and HIV prevention around the world. And she was thanking everyone's scientific brilliance and everything. But I do agree that she did get sort of slightly sidelined and started talking about the planet and the ecosystem, and almost apologising for the youth of tomorrow about the planet being destroyed. But I could see what she was doing completely. And I do think it was a very noisy audience, and the likes of Demi Moore and other people were there also before and after her, who were also trying to get the audience's attention. But she's now the ambassador for the Gen Z generation, 13 to 26, I think that is. And I think that's who she was talking to and saying sorry about various things. But she was she's sort of like a bridge between them and the outside world. And I think Fergie, at some point, I say Fergie because we obviously know her as that as well, she sort of felt very judged over the years, and she relates to the younger generation's pressure. And she's there sort of like here. And also not to forget, within an 8-month period, she sort of had 2 cancers and everything. And I think people have been a little bit hard on her, saying that she was furious and didn't really read the room, because I didn't see it at all. I was trying to think, what would I do in a situation like that to make people watch or hear? I'd be interested to know what people would say in that situation. But anyway, the thing about her as well is that she was speaking about her cancer. She was speaking about how she's been supporting also the Prince and Princess of Wales, and obviously the King. And she talked about the importance of unity, which brings us back to the paperclip, and family and caring for people in general, and forgiveness and very, things like that. And she really is a good egg, as I say. And her and her daughters have such a really good, positive strength. It's a really good unit they have between them. So I think it was a really great thing. And obviously she looked stunning, and that dress was stunning, and I'm not too sure who the designer was, but very, very good. Also, moving on to the fact that the Princess of Wales has been sadly missed. And the great thing is, although we've had loads of trolls, there are people that are sort of talking about when they last saw her, just general people, and how they made her feel, how she made them feel special. And it's lovely to see the fact that people have seen her out and about as well, trying to do little bits with family. So we know that she's not just cooped up in Adelaide Cottage. She's sort of leading a normal life, obviously recovering and still undergoing treatment. And obviously we've seen the Prince of Wales as well with Prince George at the FA football, and Prince George absolutely loves it. and thousands of messages. Normally you get something like 1,000 cards a year or something like that, but now it's like, you know, 10s, 20s, 30,000 cards a week coming in for the Princess of Wales. And the lovely thing is Kensington Palace, the office, are really trying to reply to everybody because they're so thankful that people are missing her. And obviously it's lovely that people are posting, you know, when they met her. And we had some times, I don't know if we've got posts at all, Jacalyn, there. It was just an everyday picture of them where they stayed in a B&B. I mean, I actually don't like this photograph from a photographer's point of view, but this is a B&B they stayed in last year in the Brecon Beacons where they were doing a little bit of work. And it's a snapshot, but so lovely that they didn't stay in a castle or a palace. They chose the B&B because obviously it's great for tourism. It's great for all these businesses in the area. And it's called Dufferin Mower Country House, I think. So that's great. And obviously next day, I think they were meeting other people, children. And actually it was at Aberfan, which is something that happened years and years ago, but there was a lovely photograph of them there. And again, thinking about you know, missing Kate, and you know, will she be any future things? I think what's happening at the moment is obviously she has to get well. She isn't the Queen, and unlike King and Queen Camilla, she is really taking all the advice from her people around her, and that she will show her face when she is ready to. Because I think people are hoping that she suddenly was going to be at all the up and coming Trooping Colour and the races and other things as well. But it could be that we see her later in the year. But let's see. Let's just see what happens. I personally would love to see her very, very soon, as everyone would. But I think people are missing that sort of glamour and elegance that she gives, and that sort of, I don't know, she does make people very special. That's just a king and queen, I guess. So thinking about missing her and what's going to happen, we've got Trooping the Colour. Everybody, I mean, we've heard that the royal family have had to pull back from all of their royal duties. Well, not all of them, but some of them, because obviously we have the political arena at the moment, and they cannot be seen to be, yay, Trooping Colour. Now, this was, I think, last year, and it's so lovely to see. And who's going to be there this year? I have no idea. I'm wondering whether we will have the cousins that turn up. We've got wonderful the Zara and Eugenie and Beatrice, who've been so supportive. We've seen them at recent garden parties, and it would be great to see them, or maybe some other royal families, some local royal families. That would be interesting as well. But you know, they don't want to be distracting from the election campaign that's happening, so they have to be seen neutrality completely. But to know, we will in future talk about Trooping the Colour. Obviously, to know that that's the marking of the official birthday of the British sovereign. That's been going on for 260 years. Can you believe it? Just over. And that's the 15th of June. I know that King Charles' birthday, I think, is the 14th of November, 1948. But it's going to be great, and we're going to see loads and loads of different things. You know, normally it was in the past an annual military day parade, but now it was moved because obviously everyone can celebrate when in the sunshine, which is a bit of a laugh really here in the UK, because we never know what we're going to get. And so, you know, that's that. But I'm thinking now about the cousins who've been so supportive of the Prince and Princess Wales. And that's, yeah, that picture. I love that picture. So this is from last year at the races. We have the races coming up. But I think the key here is Beatrice and Eugenie, and more so Eugenie, who's very, very vocal on social media about enjoying supporting her family. Now, they are very, very close. They've all been brought up together, the families, cousins. And I really do think, and I think a lot of people who are good friends within the family, especially I think as Harry's trying to rehabilitate his sort of character as well, could Eugenie, who is obviously the daughter of Prince Andrew and Fergie, the Duchess of York, be the one to help William and Harry through their trials and tribulation. Let's see. Thank you very much. There's not so much royal news, guys, at the moment because of the political arena, and there's things that are coming up. There's lots of lovely things coming up, but it was just a little bit of thoughts that are going on at the moment.
That was fantastic. No, that was wonderful news. There's one photograph I didn't bring up. I just want to bring it up now because, and look, Diann was there again. Diann's everywhere.
I decided to show this picture actually after, they stayed in the B&B, the Dyffryn Mawr Country House when they were in North Wales. This was last year. The next day they were doing a meeting of the children. It's a bit of a sad occasion, actually. It's a remembering Aberfan, which was not a very nice thing that happened in Wales. I won't say too much about it, but unfortunately there was it's a school, lots of children were killed. But I thought that was a lovely shot that just showed them doing what they would normally do, saying hi to the children and chatting and flowers and things. So yes, we look forward to seeing the Princess of Wales very soon, and I'm sure she'll be back with a vengeance. She's sort of tapping in, and the lovely thing is she has a very lovely group of her friends around her who are supporting her, along with family.
That was lovely. Well, thank you again for the Royal Roundup and for bringing us up to date on episode 120. Yay! Simon, before we go to you, I am going to bring out our guest. Our guest is very timid and a little nervous because he is a young, very young, sort of still green under the thumbs broadcaster who's trying to break into the business. So can we please have a warm welcome as we bring him out?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. We pulled it off, Jacalyn.
Yes, we did. We can't keep a secret. Welcome, Mr. Ian Pelham-Turner.
When I spoke to Ian this morning, it was this afternoon, and I said, "Are you coming on, Ian? You want to come on to the UK News and Culture." And we had a little chat, and how did I know it was you? You know what it's like when you know someone really well and you talk with them and you think,
bless you all, because I think, Jacalyn and I have been cooking this up for several days.
Until I spoke to you today, though, and you had that kind of like, don't push me,
I thought for a minute, I have to admit, I thought Helena had actually guessed it this afternoon, but she's got this sixth sense to her, that she can sense anything. So I tried to sort of brush her off, but it's wonderful to see you all again.
No, I'm really glad.
120 shows. Congratulations to everyone. You've all done it extremely well. Dr. Jacalyn, what a fabulous way that you're working nowadays as well at the same time. And everybody, we've had everybody, Simon and Diann, obviously Helena, on our own show as well, including Jacalyn last Friday, actually. You appeared again. And it is so amazing to actually listen and watch to how everything is moving on in all your lives as well. And I'm so honored to be here this afternoon.
Well, we're happy to have you.
We're thrilled to have you here. And
he's going to give his manifesto in 10 minutes.
Well, for those of you who don't know, I just want to say that Ian has been helping me behind the scenes for years now. And a lot of the growth that we've had and the way that we've grown is really a tribute to him because he's truly my mentor. So thank you, kind sir.
Bless you. Well, we will continue and we're looking to grow even more. So it's going to be another very interesting year.
Fantastic.
If I'd known you'd been coming along today, and I would have brought the smoked salmon and probably
I was hoping you were going to say that, Simon, anyway, because, the cost of bawbees down here at the moment, for us poor pensioners, we don't have much income at the moment. So any scraps that you can send down, be more than welcome.
I was actually in London. I went to the deep south into London last week, and I was thinking on the way down, I should have brought some smoked salmon down and given you a yell. There we are. It was a long day, so next time.
Next time for sure. Well, Ian, I would love for you to share, and Helena too, what you both are working on. And as you mentioned, I was just a guest on your show, which is going to be airing today. It was on E360 TV last night, but it'll be on today at 1 o'clock Eastern time, which is 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show. Tell us about that and other things that you're working on. I'm going to leave the two of you on the screen.
Okay, well, I think, you know, obviously Helen and I, do you know, I was trying to work out how long we've actually been working together. You know, it's, you know, they used to say the great train robbers have served less time than us, you know. So we have, it's been the greatest pleasure of my life to work with Helena. I mean, we do have our situations at times, but she's
What do you mean
amazing.
by situations? Please explain.
You see, already it goes off again, you know, into a tangent. So it is wonderful, and with the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show, it's a project that Helen and I decided to sort of work on last year with the help of ALB UK TV and Helena Castrati, and obviously Philip Sykes as well, who's been our regular on the show at the same time. And so it is, I hope we're creating value. We're trying to create more value as well. I'm just going to center myself. I think I'm that's better. So that's the professional in me.
No, I'm glad you're doing that.
Half in, half off the screen. So I think, you know, with what we're doing right now, our aim is to really produce value to people right across the world, to promote Britain, to promote the royal family in a very positive way, but also to discuss issues that are going around the world as well. So over to, oh, the other way. It's that way.
Oh, it's me. Okay, no.
Yeah,
So
obviously,
you've
I have to
actually
get my
worked
fingers right.
together.
Carry on.
We've worked together for so many years. Whenever I speak, whenever you say it, it's normally far less years than we've worked together. I'm just trying to think. It must be, it's 20-something years, I'm sure.
I think we've known each other 20 years. When I
I
first
remember
started,
one shoot that was really funny, but this was like, it wasn't even the royal shoot. It was a sort of pseudo royal shoot, which was quite funny, that we did quite a few times, that shoot. Do you remember? And that was sort of earlier on, which was really good fun. So the photography element has always been great. But I think the broadcast, I think the broadcast level is really gives value, and it gives value to lots of, one, the royal family, absolutely. Although we do have our differing opinions, don't we, Ian Turner? But I just think, you know, it's a platform we can give value, and also to people that do so well and work so hard in their own fields. It's so lovely to be able to honour people and give them that platform. And that's exactly what Dr. Jacalyn does as well. And that's what I love so much. Be able to give that value to people is worth everything, because we are in a very, you know, we're a very discombobulated society, whether politically or, you know, war, religion. There's so much upset, and it's, you know, there's little things that we can all do just to connect us all, and it's so important to have that cohesiveness and that love and peace. And you know, I just like to think that, you know, I give a little tiny bit towards that, and if we all did that, we all gave a little bit, we'd be in this most amazing world, I feel.
Absolutely. And we each have our nicknames, don't we? We've known each other for so long now. We each have our nicknames. She's laughing now because my nickname from Helena is Lord Titi.
And your nickname to me is Lady Cece. So, and on occasion when we're doing these, like, sort of, we're doing professional whatever, and we'll be in the midst of reporting on something, and all of a sudden I'll sort of drop that Lord Titi in, or you'll say Lady Cece, and I'm sure everyone's thinking, what on earth are they talking about?
It's getting hot in here, folks. I have to separate you for a moment. So well, it's truly an honor having you back here, Ian, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you next week. No, I don't know. I hope you're coming back next week, but I'll keep twisting your arm.
But I think, you know, the reality moment is that, you know, Jacalyn, you know, we're discussing more opportunities at the moment, more options. And I think I admire you so much. I truly admire you so much for what you've done, you know, and the issues that you've gone through. and you look amazing. Look at you. Do you know, every week I look at you, you're getting younger. I'm sure there's got to be a painting in the attic or something. I don't know how you're doing this now, but you're looking absolutely amazing as well. And I think just to have the amount of work ethics that you've got, the amount of ability, intelligence and creativity to have actually produced what you've done with USA Global TV is amazing. It really is. You know, I feel honored to know you. You know, and we should try and meet again. You know, I often think, you know, we met last year, and that was quite tearful for me to actually sort of meet you in real person as well in Florida. So it was quite an amazing time. Yeah, and you walked in about 2 minutes before I was due to give a speech. And I had climbed up on the stage, and I was still feeling quite tearful at the time as well. What was going on? So there you go.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn, Diann.
Thank you. Thank you, Helena.
Obviously, Simon and Lord TT. I will see you very soon. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for this opportunity as always.
Bye, Helena. Thank you.
Bye, Helena.
Good.
All right. Well, we've come to that time of the show. We're going to turn it over to Mr. MacDonald to hear his presentation. So I will put the three of us backstage. You're on, Simon.
Well, right. Well, this week we have more history, a little bit of mystery, but really one of Scotland's most iconic heroes of all time, who really shaped the country in many ways. We're talking today about King Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce, he was one of Scotland's most famous and beloved historical characters, known as the Braveheart of Scotland, long before the movie. Robert the Bruce, he was a powerful, courageous warrior who fought for his country's independence and against English rule. His legacy is still celebrated today, making him a true symbol of Scottish pride and resilience. So let's journey through the remarkable life of Robert the Bruce and gain a deeper understanding of his impact on Scottish history and culture. To fully understand Robert the Bruce's significance in Scottish history, we must first take a look at his upbringing and his early life. He was born in a noble family in 1274, and Bruce was raised in a world of privilege and power. However, his fate was soon to change as he became embroiled in the ongoing struggle for Scottish independence from England. Despite facing numerous setbacks and betrayals, Bruce emerged as a leader and eventually defeated the English at the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. This defining moment solidified his place in history as a national hero and a symbol of Scottish pride and resilience. Robert the Bruce was born in a prominent family, with his father being the Earl of Carrick and his mother being the daughter of the powerful Scottish nobleman Neil Campbell. And as a result, Bruce had access to wealth and education from a very young age. So he was trained in the art of warfare and knightly pursuits, preparing him for life of leadership. However, Bruce's life took a turn when Scotland was plunged into turmoil due to the ongoing war with England. The Scottish throne was vacant, and there were multiple contenders vying for the crown. Bruce himself had a claim to the throne through his maternal grandfather, but he initially sided with the English King Edward I in hopes of securing his position. But as tensions rose and alliances shifted, Bruce saw the opportunity to claim the throne for himself and fight for Scottish independence. In 1306, he was crowned King of Scots and began his quest for freedom of English rule. And unfortunately, Bruce faced many challenges along the way. He suffered multiple defeats and setbacks, including the loss of his brothers and other family members in battle. But he also faced betrayal from some of his own countrymen who saw him as a traitor for initially siding with the English. But despite these obstacles, Bruce persevered and continued to rally support for his cause. His determination and resilience paid off when he led the Scottish army to victory at Bannockburn in 1314. This decisive battle marked a turning point in the war and solidified Bruce's position as a true leader of Scotland. After the Battle of Bannockburn, Bruce went on to successfully defend Scotland against further English invasions and to secure its independence. He also established himself as a wise and just ruler. implementing reforms and building alliances with other countries, and he reigned as King of Scots until his death in 1329. Robert the Bruce's legacy lives on to this day, with many landmarks and monuments in Scotland dedicated to him. He's remembered as a brave warrior who fought for his country's freedom and never gave up, despite the odds being stacked against him continuously. His story continues to inspire generations and serves as a reminder of Scotland's rich history and the spirit of resilience. So, in the early years, from nobleman to rebel, Robert the Bruce was born into the noble family in Scotland in 1274. His father, Robert de Bruce, in French pronunciation, was a powerful lord who owned vast lands and many castles in Scotland and in England as well. So from a young age, Robert was groomed to follow in his father's footsteps and became a successful knight. But as he grew older, Robert the Bruce became known for his bravery and skill in battle. He was also a skilled diplomat, negotiating peace treaties between Scotland and its neighbouring countries. However, his life took a dramatic turn when he joined the fight for Scottish independence, because at the time, Scotland was under rule of King Edward I of England, who had taken control of the country after the death of its previous king. Robert the Bruce, along with other Scottish nobles, saw this as an opportunity to restore Scottish independence and reclaim their land. Robert was initially hesitant to join the rebellion, as he was still loyal to the English king. However, after witnessing the brutal treatment of Scottish rebels by the English, he could no longer stand idly by. So he joined forces with William Wallace, who we talked about a few weeks ago, another famous Scottish warrior, and together they fought for their country's freedom. So unfortunately, their efforts were not successful, and William Wallace was eventually captured and executed by the English. This only fueled Robert the Bruce's determination to continue fighting for Scottish independence. Despite facing numerous setbacks and betrayals from some fellow Scotsmen, Robert the Bruce remained steadfast in his quest for freedom. He eventually became the leader of the Scottish rebellion and led them to the victory in the famous Battle of Bannockburn, as we said, in 1314. Through his bravery and leadership, Robert the Bruce helped secure Scottish independence from England and cemented his place in history as one of Scotland's greatest heroes. In the early 14th century, Scotland was in the midst of a long and bloody struggle for independence from England. But amidst this turmoil, Robert the Bruce emerged as the leader and symbol of hope for the Scottish people. After years of fighting and political manoeuvring, Bruce and his army found themselves facing off against the English at Bannockburn. This battle would prove to be a turning point in Scottish history, as it marked a decisive victory for the Scots and solidified Robert the Bruce's place as their national hero. But what events led up to this historic battle? Well, before the Battle of Bannockburn, Robert Bruce had already established himself as a formidable leader and warrior. He'd been crowned King of Scotland in 1306, but his rule wasn't without its challenges. The English King Edward saw Bruce's claim to the Scottish throne as a threat and launched a brutal campaign to crush his rebellion. The years leading up to Bannockburn were filled with fierce battles and strategic alliances, and Bruce and his army actually faced numerous setbacks, including the loss of key strongholds and the capture of his family by the English. But through perseverance and determination, he continued to rally support and gain ground against the English forces. After being defeated in the battle in 1306 by the Earl of Pembroke at Methven, Robert the Bruce went into hiding. He resided in a cave for 3 months, at the lowest point of his life and struggling to come up with a plan about what to do next, contemplating leaving the country, never to return. What was he going to do? However, Robert the Bruce was waiting, and legend has it that he watched a spider building a web in the entrance to the cave. The typical stormy Scottish weather that we all know about, fortunately not today, was not one to disappoint, and made the spider's task very difficult, as droplet after droplet destroyed the creature's intricate work. Finally, against all the odds, the spider managed and succeeded with his web. Robert the Bruce was inspired by the spider's efforts, so decided to get up and face another fight. He's said to have told his men, "If at first you don't succeed, try, and try again," which is a phrase which is still used today quite commonly. Finally, in June 1314, the two armies met at Bannockburn. The Scots were heavily outnumbered, with an estimated 7,000 men compared to the English army's 20,000 soldiers. But under the leadership of Robert the Bruce, they were able to use their knowledge of the terrain, the superior tactics, to defeat the English in a very decisive victory. The Battle of Bannockburn is remembered as one of the most significant moments of Scottish history. So the legacy and impact and remembering Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce's legacy is one that continues to live in Scotland's culture and traditions. He's remembered as a brave warrior and a symbol of Scottish independence. But his impact goes far beyond that. One of the most significant ways in which Robert the Bruce is remembered is through his portrayal in popular culture, from books and movies to plays and artwork. His story has been immortalised and retold countless times. This has helped to keep his memory alive and ensure that future generations are aware of his contribution to Scottish history. Additionally, Robert the Bruce's legacy can be seen in the many landmarks and monuments dedicated to him throughout Scotland, from the famous Stirling Castle, where he won his most important battle, to the Bruce Monument in Edinburgh, and these physical reminders of his life and achievements serve as a constant tribute to his legacy. But perhaps the most enduring aspect of Robert the Bruce's legacy is in the values and ideals he embodied. His unwavering determination, resilience, and bravery in the face of adversity continue to inspire Scots today. He's a symbol of perseverance and courage, and his legacy serves as a reminder to never give up in the pursuit of freedom and justice. From his noble upbringing to his triumphant victory at Bannockburn, Robert Bruce's story is one that has captured the hearts and the minds of Scots for centuries. His bravery, determination, and unwavering spirit have made him a beloved figure in Scottish history, and his legacy continues to inspire for future generations.
Woohoo!
Definitely a hero of our times. And we're looking at Scotland's First Minister. I think he's trying to model himself on this as well. And of course, with the elections coming on now, going to be happening on the 4th of July, then John Swinney, our beloved First Minister, stood up and says, remember the 4th of July, Independence Day. We shall see what happens. I think he's got a bit of time to go yet.
Wow. That's very interesting, the 4th of July.
Isn't it just? Yes.
So many levels.
Oh, I mean, the moment, all the media is just full of our, the talk of our, elections, and the two main parties. They're there just slagging each other off daily and so on. And it's getting to the stage now where it's getting rather repetitive. So, but we'll see how it turns out. I think this election is going to throw a few interesting irons in the fire, and we shall see just how it transpires and unravels on the 4th of July.
I would say we have some interesting things going on here in the States as well with the upcoming election.
Oh, yes.
But I'm not a political analyst like Mr. Ian Palm-Turner is. So what say you, sir?
I think it's very interesting that Britain's chosen the 4th of July, American Independence Day. And I do a political show as well. It goes out to 1 billion people across the world. I've been calling it Britain's Independence Day on the shows as well. But the other thing which I've noticed even more is that your election is on the 5th of November, 2024. And that to us is the day that Guy Fawkes tried to blow up Parliament. And it's known as Guy Fawkes Night.
Oh my God.
And bonfire night. And so we're waiting to not only have some very interesting commentaries from the leaders over the next couple of weeks, the 6 weeks in actual fact. I've got 5 weeks of this. Last week I did 5 shows. It was like never ending with things on politics as well. But I'm really interested because obviously I think if I'm right in thinking, I follow American politics as well. And I think tomorrow is the is the judge's delivery on the Trump trial, if I remember rightly. I think it's Thursday. And then they go, and so the whole of the world is holding their breath to see what is going to happen next to your former President Trump as well. So it's a very interesting time at the moment for politics.
It is. And I believe I was looking on the internet. I think the judge I don't know if he's getting ready to instruct them or if it's tomorrow, but it is either today or tomorrow.
And I think it's called roasting, isn't it? I think the Americans call it roasting. I get this strange feeling that because the trial hasn't, not to Britain, it may be been televised in America, but I think cameras have been banned. But all you get are these terrible photographs of Trump at the moment, looking demonic, at what's going on, with the whole thing. And then he comes out and every week has a go at the judge. If I was in the middle of a trial where I could get sent to prison, the last person I would want to annoy is the judge. It's not the best thing to do. I don't know who's advised him to do that, but anyway, he seems to think. But it'll be interesting because, I look at, obviously what we look at is what's going to be best for Britain. Now, in a lot of ways, I don't think President Biden has done a lot for Britain, if I'm really honest, over his tenancy. And I suspect that President Trump, if he gets re-elected again, could do more for Britain. So it's a very interesting thing to actually look at right now, just to sort of see, because I think President Biden, because of the Northern Ireland issues, and he's very steeped in Irish traditions as well, has not really afforded much to Britain, mainly because we made such a mess up of Brexit in the first place. And so, with what's happening in Ireland as well, is a major concern even now. And now you see we have a big problem with illegal immigrants coming into Britain. And just the irony of it all now, that a lot of them have escaped from the mainland of Britain and have gone into Southern Ireland now, where they can't be repatriated back to Northern Ireland or to the mainland of Britain because the EU rules that we signed don't allow it. So it's one of these sort of strange things that are going on at the moment in Britain. But at the same time, I look at America, and I really want, I want us all to find ways forward. I think, what we're really seeking in Britain, and I'm sure in America as well, is a peace formula. But what's going on in the Middle East right now, we watch that on a sort of a daily basis as well. And I think it's very, very important now that all the allies, come together to actually try and help both in Ukraine, and I know the Americans have sort of helped tremendously in Ukraine. But it'll be interesting to see, because come the 6th of November, or perhaps the 7th, I don't know how long it takes to actually decide, who's won the election in America. But it's going to be such an interesting year, guys. It really is. It's going to be such an interesting year.
Yeah, I don't think Donald Trump has actually decided who won the last election. Going on. So.
Well, he's one of those people that it is. I don't know. The thing I look at in politics these days, I've worked in politics for probably close over 50 years now. So I go all the way back, to my days in Number 10 and before that, even further back still. I've never known. I think social media has been the downfall of politics, because now, politicians just seem to play to social media, and they come out, and as I sort of say on a regular basis, they come out with sound bites rather than sound judgment. And I think that is where, there's been issues with it. But do you know what? I'm here this afternoon, the sun is shining. One of the biggest things that the Conservative Party have said in Britain is they're going to look after people like me. They're going to look after the pensioners. So, so now I'm torn. I'm torn who to vote for. You know, do I just vote for myself, or do I vote for the future of the country? I don't know.
Do we want to place bets, Diane?
No.
Well, it's been quite a show, and we are sadly out of time because Anne Scotland's show is coming up. But Simon, I know you have On This Day ready for us.
Yes, I do. I'll rattle through this one fairly quickly for us. And so on this day, in 1886, American pharmacist John Pemberton begins to advertise his patent medicine, Coca-Cola, of all things, in Atlanta and Georgia. Then in 1919, Scotsman Charles Strite files a patent for the automatic pop-up toaster. Now, there's something which you really had to know about. In 1953, Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay are the first to reach the summit of Mount Everest as part of the British expedition. Birthdays. 1630, King Charles II, King of England, Scotland and Ireland, was born in St James's Palace in London. In 1903, English-born American actor and comedian Bob Hope, great man, was born in London. In 1917, the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, was born in Brookline in Massachusetts. I could only find one significant death today, and that was in 1814. Josephine de Beauharnais was the wife of Napoleon and the first Empress of France, dies of pneumonia, age 50. So he must have said then, not tonight, Josephine.
I didn't know Bob Hope was born in London. That's interesting.
I didn't either.
Yes, oh yes. Pity he wasn't born in Scotland. He'd got a good sense of humour.
That's something I'm doing on a regular basis. I'm watching things on TV. I only watch Netflix or Amazon, not a paid spokesperson, and Roku. Things that make me laugh, because it's good to laugh, right? Yeah. Some of the comedians are, I think double censors need to be implemented. But
yeah, you use far less energy and muscles to smile than you do when you frown.
That's true. And the wrinkles you get, I think, are a little bit better when you're smiling as opposed to frowning and pulling your face.
Yes. The wrinkles grow the wrong way when you start.
Yes, we don't want that. But let's go around and final words before we say goodbye for our 120th episode with our young broadcaster trying to break into the business. Ian, over to you. What would you like to leave people with today?
I would just like to thank you all. First of all, from the bottom of my heart, I think you are fabulous people. I enjoy working with all of you, first of all. And I think, the biggest thing, my best noteworthy of today is I'm here, I'm alive, and I'm on this show. And I think that the reality is, we will be working more together. And we've got our opportunities as well to actually further what we're doing. Good luck to you all. First of all, Simon, send down. Don't be shy. Send down some smoked salmon. As I say, this poor pensioner. At the moment, I've got to survive somehow. I'm on bread and water at the moment.
My heart
You're shrinking away.
I'll get the violin out in a second as well.
I was thinking about coming down under the cover of darkness, but I don't know. I mean, I think the next time we come down, I'll need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Bless you. I hope you're all well, and thank you so much for allowing me on the show this afternoon.
Thank you. It's been our pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Diane, how about you?
Well, with the way the world is still today, I hope everybody remembers to keep peace and love in their heart so they can do more to share their light to the world.
Very well. Thank you. Simon?
Well, everyone just keep plodding on, because too late is when tomorrow was yesterday.
Very true. And I'll just leave a tip for sleeping that someone shared with me, and it actually works. And you don't have to live in the United States to do it. It might be more difficult if you're not. But what I do is I think of the map of the United States, and I start in Maine, and I have to do the states in order in my brain. So I go around the perimeter, and then I go through the center. And by the time I'm down to, I don't know, Alabama, I'm out. I'm passed out. But guess what? I now know all 50 states and where they're located because I've done it so many times. But it really does work. So there you go.
There you go.
Jacalyn, I think I need to talk to you.
Okay.
You now pass 5th grade geography.
All right, we're signing off for now. Please do stay tuned for Ann Scotland's show, Launch It. She actually has 2 shows now, Med-Engagement, which is on Tuesdays, and Launch It is followed by the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show, where yours truly is making an appearance. So stay tuned for that. And that will be followed by Elegance, Polished Demeanor, Posh Living. Bye, everyone. See you later.
Bye.
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 The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I find really I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school, this class is the best, this is the best school ever.
You should take it. It's just, it will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, BSc.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.